Welcome to Go Solo Live.
Don't you mean go solo live? Have you ever been asked, why on earth would you travel alone? Go Solo Live not only answers that question, but celebrates life as a midlife solo traveler. This is a safe place for women to come together to reminisce about their travels, encourage others to travel, and to dig into the real lessons learned from these journeys. Now join Jennifer Buchholz with Transform Via Travel as she and her guests share stories of the solo travelers of midlife women.
Welcome to Go Solo Live. This is Jennifer with Transform Via Travel. We are in our special season of our podcast, and now I'd like to introduce Dr. Mary Travelbest.
Welcome to Dr. Mary Travelbest's Independent Travel Guide. This is for women who travel, who want to travel, and especially for those who want to travel independently. What's on your bucket list? I'll help you get there. I'll respond to your travel questions as well as share my mistakes and missteps in travel. And because I've made just about every mistake, you don't have to. I wrote and published the best-selling book, CD, and website, The World's First Guide to Independent Travel. And since 1993, I've been running a marketing business, raising 4 children with my husband, and been a university professor while traveling. These travel experiences are tools that I want to share with you to make your trip the very best, like travel best. In this episode, the FAQs will be about mosquitoes and how to avoid being their dinner. The destination, Atlanta, Georgia, USA. My mistake this episode was trusting the balloon pilot, and the tip is to buy your airline tickets when there's a sale. So the FAQ, what to do about mosquitoes. In the summer, these pests are more than just a pain. What can we do to stay bite-free? And what about vaccinations? So here's a list of things that you can do. Number 1, stay indoors at sunset when they're hungry. You can use Deet and Neat and other topical sprays and B1 vitamins, long sleeves and pants, netting for your sleeping, and maybe your hat even has a net. Does the country you're visiting have malaria? Be sure to get the necessary vaccinations out of the way as soon as possible because it can take up to a few weeks to build up your full immunity. Some vaccinations require multiple doses, which may need to be done over days, weeks, or even months. So talk to your physician about the CDC recommended shots, as the vaccines can vary by country. And some countries do require a proof of a vaccination. You can always go to a travel clinic too to help you sort out your medications, and you can try to do this ahead of time. And keep your vaccination certificate in your carry-on case should you need this to enter the country. So today's destination is Atlanta, Georgia. I've been going to Georgia since 1974, and I remember going to Underground Atlanta. That was one of my first memories. It's still there. It's 6 city blocks of underground shopping and eating and entertainment near the 5 Points area. So what's there to do in Atlanta? Indoors or out, there's a lot going on. If you like to eat, the restaurants are outstanding. The food is special. For example, getting a frosted orange at the Varsity. That's a chain of local fast food places. And if you like to be outdoors, Stone Mountain is a hiking area that you'll enjoy. You can trek to the summit. Summers are hot. The Peachtree Road Race is a 10K run held annually on July 4th. And this has been going on for 50 years. It's the world's largest 10K race. My brother ran in it this year again, and my father and many members of my family have been in it. One of the things about Atlanta is they've got this transportation called MARTA. It's going to bring you anywhere you want quickly, and it's very inexpensive. And traffic in Atlanta, especially these days, can be terrible. So you need to plan around rush hours on the freeway. You can have some fun visiting Coca-Cola, the CNN tour, and Peachtree everything. Just remember, it's going to be humid in the summer. My parents lived in Dunwoody and then in Alpharetta, so I still go there 2 or 3 times a year and find lots of new places to see, like live music concerts. And there's lots to do outside. One of my favorite things is the Big Creek Greenway in Alpharetta. It's a concrete trail about 8 miles, and it goes through the Big Creek, and it goes parallel to North Point Parkway. It goes all the way from Windward Parkway, and it goes all the way down to Mansell Road. There's also a mulch trail with a wetlands area between Haynes Bridge Road and Mansell Road, and you'll see wildlife like blue heron and deer and ducks, Canadian geese. I've come across more than one deer and sometimes a family of deers, so you'll enjoy the wildlife. Another thing, don't miss the Georgia Aquarium. This public aquarium in downtown Atlanta has more than 100,000 water animals and represents several thousand species. It's 10 million US gallons of marine and salt water. Another thing in downtown Atlanta, there's lots of universities, so there's always lots of things going on. So I also suggest you walk around the Olympics area. Remember back in 1996, they hosted the games there. So let's move on to my mistake. Trusting the balloon pilot. I'll tell you this story. I went on a safari alone to Africa. Specifically, I went to Kenya. And although I was alone, I did meet friends and made friends on the plane there. One was a girlfriend I still consider a good pal, even though we haven't seen each other lately, Kathy Kangas. The other person we met was a balloon pilot. Let's call him Bob. Bob invited me to his camp to ride a hot air balloon. So about a week after arriving in Nairobi, I landed in his camp, and he was delighted. But he said I had to sleep with him to get the balloon ride. So naturally, I declined and found a proper tent and slept there alone, and I never saw him again until watching the Today Show. And when I was watching, Bryant Gumbel was on his balloon with Bob. Really, it was the same guy. There was no mistake about it. Same name, same accent, and the same camp. There was no mistake. Question I wondered is if he had to make the same arrangements as were offered to me. So this mistake was my lack of judgment. I believed and trusted in this guy, but I was mistaken. So here's my travel advice. Book your flights in sale periods. The best time to book a flight is during a sale. For example, Southwest Airlines has lots of sales, some for 48 hours. Try to book your flight in maybe late August through December, non-holiday times. That's generally their slow season. And plan ahead if you can. You can save about 50% off the cost of all your travel by saving on sales. And sign up for emails with your favorite travel companies. I want to bring meaning to your travel, and I want to thank you so much for sharing this edition of the World's First Guide to Independent Travel with me, Dr. Mary Travel Best. You've been sharing it with your girlfriends. You can search with me on the web. I'm in all the social media, and helping women travel best is my goal. I'd also like to know what's on your bucket list. I want to offer a special thank you to Jennifer Buchholz from Transform Via Travel, as this has been such a wonderful season for travel, solo, independent, and any way you go. Jennifer has supported my journey as an emerging voice and helped me to shape the message to you, my loving and very loyal friends. This is my final Go Solo Live special season recording. So please choose to subscribe to the Dr. Mary Travel Best podcast wherever you get your podcast, also on YouTube. You can reach out to me and give a review. I will so gratefully appreciate that.